Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Against the Storm. This game is my game of the year for 2022, 2023, 2024. It's one of the best games I have ever played. And thankfully this video is brought to you by the patrons of my Patreon. This video will be fully accessible to everyone else. There will be a follow-up 4 videos. It is $3 to get access to all of the Patreon voted exclusive videos, so feel free to go check those out. Without further ado, we're checking out the Keepers of the Stone DLC that has been released for the game. I want to say that I had a reasonably big hand in this game finding an audience, because I think that initial video that I put out way back in the day got them like a pretty decent number of sales on the Epic Game Store. I'm not gonna say I can take all of the success, but I want to say that I think I had an impact, which, you know, feels good. It feels good to have had an impact on a game that I like so much. It's such a good game. I have started a new save file so that we can experience the gameplay. I don't have a whole lot unlocked yet. We're only, below level 5. So we're basically starting over with the DLC. So we've got here a marshland settlement that has both a watchtower and a levitating monument adjacent to it. So the watchtower will make it so that discovering glades doesn't increase hostility. Oh, that's super powerful. And we also have a levitating monument, which makes moving all of the buildings in our settlement easier. Oh, that's amazing. So could do prestige. However, the thing I found about doing prestige is that it doesn't actually give you increased rewards that much, with the exception of sale fragments. And since we're still in the process of upgrading the smoldering city and building out this part, we don't need to play on prestige level. I think in my other save file, I'd reached like prestige 10 or something. So we're just going to play on Viceroy, which is the hardest difficulty before prestige. Now, let's have a look at our caravans available. This will be a marshland, so it would be good to have lizard folk. So I'll tell you what, I will bring beavers and then 2 randoms. We've got quite a good amount of goods here. I do technically get more goods here, but I'm going to take the 6 beavers. I like the idea of being able to have 6 beavers immediately chopping wood. And then in terms of resources, stone is actually a really good pickup because it allows you to build stone pathways, which significantly increase the speed of your workers. It does cost me 2 there, but that's fine. And then I'm probably going to take more eggs and then a little bit of wood to get us started. I like, starting off with a little bit of wood is quite good. So we're going to embark here. We've got a lot of things that we need to talk about why this game is so awesome. So here is our starting setup. We have levitating monuments, so we can move buildings in our settlement for free. We have the watchtower, so we don't increase hostility. This means we don't need quite as much hostility reduction in our settlement. Hostility is the mechanic whereby your settlement experiences negative effects from the storm. That's all of these things. Then we've got gathering knowledge. Gathering speed is increased by 10% for every 2 workers assigned to gathering camps. So this actually could be a really good map for doing a lot of gathering. We also have giant organisms. Giant resource nodes can be found in forbidden glades. Each glade will have a different one. So there could be a lot of exploration going on here. Now, during the drizzle, which is the first part of the year, we're going to have the gentle dawn effect. New year, new challenges. Every small glade discovered grants plus 10% to planting speed during drizzle. The bonus is added retroactively. So this will only apply if we discover small glades during the drizzle. That's fantastic. So we want to be discovering all of our small glades during the drizzle. And then we have the additional effects during the storm. So the looming darkness is the effect that is always there. And for every stack of hostility, you will get -4 to global resolve during the storm. So this is the big one that makes it hard to survive the storm. But you also have secondary effects, for example, bitter rain, which makes your villagers move slower during the rain if they don't have clothing. Got devastation. You have to pay packs of building materials multiplied by the number of years. So if it's year 5, you got to pay 5 packs of building materials, or 3 of your buildings will become ruins. Very expensive over time. Then you've got Blight in the Sky. At Hostility 4, Blight Rot will uncontrollably appear based on the number of years that have passed. And then we've also got Downpour, which makes your villagers eat more food if they don't have access to housing or services. So a lot of really negative effects. However, thanks to the fact that opening glades won't increase hostility due to the watchtower, I think we're going to have a pretty chill time. Ooh, wow, look at this. So we've got a dangerous glade over here. We've got a dangerous glade over here. We do have a really nice small glade here that we might open early. In fact, if we could get it open during the drizzle, that would be fantastic. So you can see we've got meat over here. It's a leech brood mother, which provides us with meat and a 20% chance for leather. Then we have the overgrown stone deposit, which has a chance to give us stone and moss. Moss is useful for a variety of things. Now, the other unique thing about the marsh, I believe, is that the trees themselves have special unique properties. So mushwood has a chance to give you mushrooms. We will get a small trickle of food from the mushwood and also leather. So we definitely want to be thinking about maybe making use of mushrooms and leather in some complex recipes. I'm going to go ahead and start my town off. We have 30 stone. so building paved roads is worth it. Regular path only increases your villager speed by 5%, which effectively means when a villager walks 20 tiles on a long path, it is as if they have walked 21 tiles. That might not seem like much, but when your villagers are walking back and forth a lot, it really adds up. And one of the most important areas that you want to build path is right here in front of the warehouse, because villagers are going to spend a lot of time coming back and forth along here. So I'm going to build paved road right here. I'll build regular path around the hearth, which is the heart of the settlement. Should this flame ever go out, I believe we pretty much lose the game. Not instantaneously. There's a whole bunch of mechanics that keep us alive and stuff like that, but we've placed down our basic paths that will get us started, and we're also going to go ahead and get ourselves a pair of woodcutter camps. Actually, we only have 6 beavers, so maybe one woodcutter camp is enough. Now, where was that glade that I wanted to dig through to? I think it was this one over here. So I'm going to place my woodcutter camp right here up against the forest. This is the optimal way to do things, in my opinion. And then we're going to priority chop our way through to this glade because we want to discover it in order to activate the gentle dawn effect, so we get a 10% planting speed boost for the rest of the mission. Hopefully we'll be able to discover a farming resource because that is what is affected by the planting speed boost. And then I will build a trading post over here. It doesn't really need to be anywhere, and we can move it for free. And this should be fine for us to start our mission with. I'm going to build a regular path between the woodcutting lodge and the storehouse because the workers will have to walk back and forth between here on a regular basis. Interestingly, I can move the workhouse, which is kind of a neat idea. I do want to make sure that this woodcutter's camp is high priority, and I'm going to go to maximum speed because I always like to play this game on maximum speed. All right, perfect. So the woodcutter's camp is coming online. It just finished. I'm going to immediately assign 3 beavers to this. Now, the interesting thing about beavers is that each mystical creature has special abilities, and the beaver special ability is that they love woodworking. So they have a woodworking proficiency bonus, which gives them a 10% chance to double the yield from these trees. So they have a 10% chance to get double wood, double mushrooms, double leather, which is really, really good. Increasing the efficiency of your workers is very, very important to making your town functional and useful and good. Now, we've got a few sort of housekeeping things to take care of. We've got over here the Cornerstone choice. This is the Queen's Envoy. We can see here, if we look at the conditions of this land, the trees yield wood, mushrooms, and leather. We're likely to find eggs, meat, mushrooms, copper, stone, wheat, moss, leather, and coal, which will inform our choice of cornerstone. So for example, this settlement specializes in wine production. Now, if we were to look, okay, see if we can find a building that produces wine. I can't find one off the top of my head. But if we thought, right, for example, that, oh, look, we can get a building that produces wine, then if we become a vineyard town, we could make our beavers super happy because we could produce a ton of wine and sell it off, etc., etc., etc. So with the thought of perhaps, I think you can use mushrooms to make wine. So I'm going to kind of think about this. A plantation would be incredible if we could find farmland. So I'm going to go ahead and take the plantation and see if we can't find a wine building. Beaver houses would be fantastic as well because we don't actually have access to specialist beaver houses, and we definitely have beavers, but they are expensive and I need some early game buildings to really build my economy out. Now, the rain mill, you can make flour from mushrooms, but not from berries. So I don't think we'll be going in a rain mill direction. We don't have a way to produce that. Biscuits, we don't really have access to flour. I might go for a reroll here. My first reroll is free. And here we go. Here's a cellar. So a cellar can use berries or mushrooms plus some kind of container to make wine. So now that we have a wine production recipe, I'm going to take that and then I'm going to be making a vineyard town. So I'll very easily be able to keep my beavers happy if I can get a wine production yard going. Carpenter could be excellent too. Yes. Okay. So the awesome thing about the carpenter is we can pack wine, which is worth 0.12 amber, which is the currency of the game, per wine, and we can pack it up into 2 packs of luxury goods. And I believe each pack of luxury goods is worth 1.5. I might have to double check those values. Basically, this allows us to turn a relatively low value good into a really high value good. So now we actually have a sort of baseline economy. We want to find land to grow berries. We want to turn those berries into wine, and then we want to trade for other resources, and we want to turn that wine into luxury goods. So we have a basic economic plan for this settlement. Of course, how long will that plan hold up against the reality of the situations that we find ourselves in? One of our goals is going to be to upgrade our ancient hearth. So I want to get a population housing for 8 people, but that actually requires there to be 8 people in the town. So I will lay down housing enough. Each one of these houses can hold 3 people. So 3 houses will be able to hold 9 people. Wait, is it 2? Yeah, no, it's 3. Each one of these houses can hold 3 people, which means 3 of the houses will hold 9 people, which will meet the population requirement. And then I'm going to build a small garden, I believe it is. The park here costs 8 wood, and this will fulfill the comfort decoration requirement, allowing us to level this hearth up, getting +1 global resolve, meaning my people are happier. If people's happiness goes down too low, they will try to leave your settlement. So you gotta be careful, you gotta be, clever about how you do things. So right now, 2 of my people are unemployed, 1 of them is working on the hearth, and 3 of them are working on the lumber mill. The unemployed people will work as construction workers, which is perfectly fine by me. In fact, I'm very happy with that. The nice thing about having a beaver working as a firekeeper is that they will reduce the fuel consumption of your hearth significantly. Now, in terms of fuel consumption, I want to save my coal from being burnt. So I'm going to deactivate coal burning, and I'm mostly going to be focusing on burning regular old wood. My hope is to cut through this tree before the drizzle ends so that we can open this glade, getting a 10% boost to our farming. So we've discovered a glade. If I hold down B, we can see the resources. I can also hover over this and see we found some swamp wheat fields, a grass cap mushroom, and a coal vein. We could set up, I believe I have a mining somewhere in here. Yeah, we could build a mine on the coal. It requires brick and planks, but that would allow us to produce coal. Coal is incredibly efficient in fuel, so we could go a mining direction here. It's not a terrible move. And now for the foreseeable future, I'm going to park my woodcutter's camp against the forest. I'm going to say avoid glades except for the marked ones, so that we don't unintentionally cut through to any of these glades. And for now, it's just going to be collecting wood for me. We built our 3 houses and we built our park. So now we need to think about what we want these guys to work as. Well, the real question is, our first trader is Sahilda, and she's willing to buy a decent number of things. I'm wondering, what could we pack up for Sahilda that would make her amenable to trade with us? And there really isn't much that I can think of. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a crude workstation going. And in this crude workstation, we'll be able to process raw materials into higher tier materials that will allow us to build more higher tier buildings. So for example, we'll be able to process wood into planks, and then those planks can be used to build something like, for example, the carpenter. And the carpenter is going to be a priority for us. So I'm going to use these reeds right here. My current limit for cloth is going to be 2 because we only need 2 of those. And then my limit for planks is going to be 5 because we only need 5 planks. I will assign 2 of my workers in here so that we can get those up and running. And I will reactivate coal as a burnable fuel because we're going to use a lot of our wood in this carpenter, trying to make these basic resources for our economy, which will allow us to build the carpenter. The carpenter is a much more efficient workshop. We'll talk about that once we can actually build it. But basically, the carpenter produces planks much more efficiently than the workstation. So it uses 5 wood to make 2 planks, whereas this thing uses 8 wood to make 2 planks, and also considerably more time. So way more efficient to build it the other way. So we're currently in the clearance. Coming up next will be the storm. This will be a relatively easy storm season to get through. I am going to prioritize cutting towards this dangerous glade because I want to open it up so that we can chop our way through and potentially see what happens in there. Hopefully I find fertile fields. Okay, perfect. My workers in this workshop have managed to create the goods that I wanted to, so I'm going to kick them out, and then I'll reset these resources back to my economy rather than being stored in that building. And then I'm going to tell them that I want them to build me a carpenter right here, and I'll build a small paved road at the front of the carpenter. I will rework this dirt path to be less obtrusive, and then I will destroy the path that's in the way. And then I think what I want now is a second woodcutter's camp, whose job it is to produce wood. Woodcutters are one of the most important jobs in the entire game because A, they're your exploration, and they give you baseline resources, in particular fuel, to fuel your economy. This first storm will be very easy for us to get through. Ooh, that's a horrifying forbidden glade over there. Quite curious about things that we could pull off. Let's put 2 beavers in charge of this. We can get even more wood production going. Wood is your baseline resource. It's the one that you want the most of. Let's make sure that you are also set to avoid glades except for marked. Now that we've got a new year, we're going to have some new effects. So first things first is we're going to get immigrants. I do love lizards. Big fan of the lizards. Do I want coal and reeds, or do I want some clothing and a copper bar? I think the coal is more useful. However, it would be nice to get another beaver, but also the lizard is a really good firekeeper. Yeah, this is a tough choice, honestly. I'm going to take the 2 humans and the lizard. And I'm trying to remember, what do humans do when they're in charge of a hearth? So when humans are in charge of a hearth, impatience grows slower. When the lizard is in charge of the hearth, not only does the lizard get +5 to his resolve, making him much happier. You can see here, populations have a lot of different effects. So for example, having a house just makes you happier. Having racial specific house is twice as effective. Having access to your favorite types of food makes you really, really happy. Encampments, comfortable jobs, sacred pyres. The thing I really like about the lizards is that they give everyone +1 global resolve, and I'm a big fan of that. Technically, the humans in charge would be better, but you know, it is what it is. Ooh, Woodcutter's Prayer is really powerful. This will basically double the amount of wood that my foresters can produce. I will lose 44 wood, but I would gain that back so quickly. It will mean that my woodcutting camps will have to spend a lot more time delivering wood. Rooty Ground is also quite good, but since I do plan to do a farming type game, might be difficult. I'm gonna go for the Woodcutter's Prayer. I really, really like this one. Yes, I lose all my fuel, which sucks, but we will end up with plenty of wood in a moment. Now, I'm gonna put another beaver on this woodcutting camp, and since Sahilda is gonna be here in a minute, I'm gonna use this woodcutting camp to cut through to this glade as soon as possible. So now the amount of wood that I am producing is massive, so we should have plenty of fuel for our fire. It does suck to lose the coal, but that's fine. So my hope is to cut through to this glade right about when the trader comes, so that if I need stuff from the trader to solve the problem that will be in here, it'll make my life easier. And I'm also going to put a couple humans in here. I'm going to deactivate the crude workstation from being able to produce planks because I have a more efficient place. Not only does the carpenter use less wood, it does it faster. And I'm going to set the limit to 20 planks. Is pretty good. So I want them to produce a lot of planks because you can sell those. Oh, big glade. We've got an overgrown stone deposit, an algae pond. We've got paved roads. We've got a cannery, a tavern, a forager's camp, abandoned cache, and a merchant shipwreck. So the merchant shipwreck is a dangerous glade event. This has a negative effect. So in 12 minutes and 51 seconds, something bad will happen. The captain's curse will destroy a random cornerstone in my possession. So we can search the upper deck. Now, searching the upper deck will count as cowardice. And so the queen will be disappointed in us, and we will gain impatience. If this impatience bar fills, we will lose. However, we would gain a chest of ancient tablets, a crate of sea marrow, and 5 parts. Alternatively, we could use 9 parts. We could get a really big boost of hostility, spend a lot of parts, but gain reputation and money. And I'm going to go for the reputation and money. Honestly, I'm kind of greedy in that way. So I'm going to take my 2 humans off of this. I'm going to put them onto this shipwreck. It's early enough into the year where they should be able to solve this before it becomes a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and investigate, which will massively boost the hostility of the forest. Every level of hostility will increase negative resolve by 2. So now that we're at hostility level 5, people are really scared. Now, I also haven't talked about orders. So one of the orders here is funded the expedition. This will allow us to deliver tools to gain 5 parts, 10 bundles of fabrics, and 10 bricks. That's really good. Alternatively, if we keep lizard resolve above 13 for 30 seconds, we'll gain a group of lizards, 30 packs of meat, and some parts. I do like the idea of getting a lot more population. However, this one is easier to fulfill, so I'll take that. Human resolve above 22 will be a little bit harder, whereas 3 packs here could be quite good. Being able to produce more fabric and also getting more parts. I need to make up for the fact that I spent a bunch of parts on that expedition. Keeping lizard resolve above 15 shouldn't be too difficult. Beaver resolve, although, yeah, actually, since I am going for a vineyard town, beaver resolve would be really good. And then we also have these orders. So we can deliver oil and flour to gain a farmer's pack, wildfire essence, and more villagers. Or we can deliver 40 fish to gain a survival guide, which will increase global food production, give us boots and parts. Oil and flour might be easier. And I like the idea of getting a lot more population. Ooh, delivering grain. We don't really have a way to produce grain, so I'm going to go for happy beavers. So keeping beaver resolve above 24 for a minute and selling 16 goods worth of amber to a trader or a trade route will get us a 15% production boost on our woodcutter camps, 30 biscuits, and 10 boxes of tools. Perfect. So these are all objectives that we can fulfill. Sahilda is here, so we can actually trade. Furniture is really good. Small farms, all of these are really good, but we just don't have the profitability to take them. And I don't think we need to trade for anything from Sahilda. We don't need food right now. We're actually pretty comfortable thanks to the huge stock of eggs that we found, or we brought with us rather. So honestly, I think we're happy to kind of chooch on as we're chooching on. Getting this merchant shipwreck will get us a decent amount of amber for the next trade deal. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything insanely useful in here. However, we do have things that we can salvage. Like, for example, we could salvage this forager's camp, which would get us boxes of pottery, bundles of plant fiber. We could salvage the tavern or rebuild it. You know, it is an option to rebuild it. Taverns are pretty damn good. They give you the Gleeman's Tale passive, which gives you +3 global resolve. Really powerful. Alternatively, we could get boxes of grain and barrels. And then we also have a cannery here. The cannery allows us to produce paste, wine, and biscuits, or we could break it open and get a bunch of goods. So it's really just a question of, do we want goods? But the really nice thing is these 3 buildings mean there are a lot of cornerstone perks that scale. Wait, I'm surprised. Did I take my other cornerstone yet? What was the cornerstone that I took? Oh, Woodcutter's Prayer. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't really see anything I need to trade for Sahilda right now, so I'm a chill. I guess I could, in theory, trade for food, but I think we're good. It does kind of suck to use up a lot of machine parts this early into the game for a merchant shipwreck, but the resources in here can pretty much last us, like, throughout the entire mission, so we'll be okay. So I'm loving the amount of wood that we're cutting, because wood can be sold to traders. It's actually a pretty valuable good for traders. It's a great way to make money. God, look at the amount of wood we're making is crazy, but it is making the walking times also crazy. So we gained a reputation, which lowered impatience, which is good. And now the negative effects of this merchant shipwreck are no longer affecting us. Every time we gain impatience and it passes one of these blue diamonds, we'll actually get another recipe. But you don't have to do those recipes just yet. You can take your time on that. We're gonna have so much wood to trade. It's gonna be so good. I love trading wood, especially when you get rooty ground. It makes our next phase of trading like so much easier for us. But yeah, constantly moving your woodcutters is an important part of the game's micro. It's one of the few things that a player has in terms of agency, because the closer your wood is to the tree line, the more efficient your workers are. And then you also want your wood cutting camps to be on roads, main roads, because they're going to walk back and forth a lot, right, to deliver goods. So you want them to go nice and fast. Okay, new year, new cornerstone. Local taxes, gain 12 amber for every 50 ale produced. We could get grain production or wealthy settlements. Generous gifts is really good, in my opinion, especially if you get it early enough. We're going to get a 40% increase in the amount of goods that newcomers bring to us. So I think that's just a decent one. So these newcomers are now going to come in with a lot more resources, and I like the balanced pack. A lizard, a beaver, and a human bringing in some pipes, some amber, and some grain is perfect. I'm going to use the careful chopping tool to cut through to this small glade to get another stack of the Gentle Dawn ability. Another thing that we're going to need to do is to build another shelter for the people of this town, but that's okay. I also want to prioritize that tree. We can't get our hearth level up, so it might be good for us to build another hearth over here. Every hearth that we build, you can see here, minus 30 impatience. So every hearth will lower the impatience of the crown, giving you more time. Every year that passes will give you 45 difficulty. Also, hearths act as a place where your workers can take a break and fulfill their needs. And so if you plonk a small warehouse and a hearth in an area, people will be able to work in that area really, really efficiently. But I think we'll kind of just chill for now, and we'll plonk a house here, and until we have the population, we need 16 population in total to fulfill the needs of another hearth. So I think the easiest order for us to fulfill right now is going to be 3 packs. I will build us a makeshift post right there. I'm also going to move this one. We've got a lot of free workers right now, so we need to give them jobs. I'm going to box up mushrooms in order to make packs of crops. I will set the global limit to 3 because that's what we need. I need 4 packs of building materials, and I need, 3 packs of provisions. Technically, we can build provisions more efficiently in a cellar. That's fine. We're going to use eggs for provisions, and I'll tell my population to stop eating eggs so they can be used for that purpose. And we'll be using planks to make the packs of goods. I will put a beaver in here on the plank production. In fact, I'm just going to put a bunch of people on the plank production and then 2 people on the pack production. So now we're processing wood. I'll disable these because I don't actually want these recipes to go through yet. I just want them to be making planks. These are fine. We're going to be processing wood from our incredibly efficient woodcutters into planks. The planks are going to be processed into packs of materials. This will allow us to fulfill an order, which will lower the queen's impatience, making her less upset with us, which is ideal. We found some overgrown stone deposits, a coal vein, and a small abandoned cache. Alrighty, trying to think about the next chopping direction. Yeah, so I'm unlucky that I haven't found any fertile ground. I definitely feel like this dangerous glade is going to be chopped open for us. When is our next trader is also a quest, and he comes in 3 minutes. So he'll come towards the end of the clearance. Yeah, why don't you just keep chopping in this area? We have a small abandoned cache. We can break that open with stone if we want to get access to grain and herbs. We did have another one of these over here. We could break this one open with stone to get jerky, rolls, and copper bars. bars. Actually, those copper bars could be used to make tools, and then the tools could be used to fulfill an order. So I tell you what, I will be cracking this open when the time comes. But for first, I want to make sure that we do our 3 packs mission. All right, packs of provisions have been produced. I'm a little bit worried about our food situation. I will preemptively build a trapper's camp by this meat supply here so that we can, I guess for lack of a better word, harvest it when we need to. Don't forget to build a shelter. We got some new orders. I'm not going to open up these orders just yet. I'll give it a little bit of time. We do get a small trickle of food from wood cutting, so that is why I'm so happy to go heavy on wood cutting. And also wood has resale value. All right, so old Farlough has come and he will always buy wood. We do have a significant amount of amber to the point where we could just get 2 extra beavers every year. That's actually quite powerful. +1 to stone production is also incredibly powerful because we do have a significant amount of stone. We've got a overgrown stone deposit here. This would basically double the amount of stone that's stored in this. It would take it up to be a 120 charge stone deposit. These stone deposits here would basically double in their value, becoming 40 stone deposits, 40 stone deposits as well. So that's really tempting, the steel pickaxes. If I could get both, I would maybe try to. 2 additions, just a bunch of extra beavers is incredible. I don't necessarily need steel drills. I'm going to take beaver friendship so that I can go mass on beavers because we can get vineyards, which will increase beaver resolve. So we're kind of building towards a beaver build here. Steel pickaxes. I need 7 amber. So I'm going to see if I can buy 7 amber for a certain amount of wood. So 146 wood will get me 7 amber, which will allow me to get steel pickaxes. So now I can get basically double the value of all the stone deposits on the map, which is extremely valuable. We can make a lot of good use of that stone. We have our packs of provisions and stuff from the makeshift posts. So I'm going to unemploy those guys and I will immediately go into my orders and I will sell this off. This is going to get us a bunch of parts as well as better fabric production, which is really nice, and better mold supply, so we get even more grain. It'll also finish this, getting me a point of resolve and reducing the queen's impatience by a blip. Now, Farlough, you do sell stuff that I need, but nothing that I can afford right now. Yeah, nothing I can afford right now. That's okay. I can take my 2 humans off of working in the carpenter now, and instead I'm going to tell them to use my stone to break open this so that we can get access to copper bars. While it would be really nice to send this to the capital, that copper is extremely valuable, as is the basket of jerky. However, I will tell my population not to eat jerky. I want to store that jerky until we need to do a resolve push. It will make my people unhappy to know that they're being denied jerky, but it is a temporary measure and it's for the good of the settlement. We can reactivate jerky devourment during the storm if people are too upset. So my villagers will move slower during the rain because we don't have a way to fulfill their clothing need. That's fine for now. I'm wondering if we decide to sacrifice a small amount of wood over the course of the storm. The storm lasts 2 minutes, so 40 minutes of, or 40 wood is 80 wood over the storm to make sure people don't go into negative resolve is perfectly reasonable. I'm also going to say stop after the storm so we don't automatically have negative effects. Lizards are having a hard time. That's okay. It'll take a while for them to dip down to negative. Okay, we're going to make it through a storm and we need to open a glade. Which glade do we want to open? Well, I would argue that it's hard to know. We want to open at least 1 glade. I think we can handle 1 glade here. So I'm going to move these guys over here. I'm going to say, hey, open this bad boy up. We'll open up this dangerous glade here. And then I'll keep these guys on the straight and narrow choppy chop. So quite a few interesting things have happened here. We could choose a cornerstone. Global production is faster, but traders will arrive slower. We can take rooty ground. I can also decline a cornerstone for 10 amber. Mark of the sealed ones. While the ancient hearth is being corrupted, resources sacrificed within it burn longer. Right now, my heart is pushing towards rooty ground or deserted caravans. Ultimately, I think rooty ground is actually super incredible for us building a really strong wood economy, which can then enable trade, whereas Mark of the Sealed Ones isn't particularly useful for us because we don't have corruption yet. So I'm going to go for rooty ground. It will make harvesting and planting harder, but that's fine because we haven't even been able to get that up and running yet. And so I'm just waiting for the copper bars from this to come in. So what do we got here? We got a hidden trader cemetery, a haunted market, and a medium abandoned cache, a grass cap mushrooms. Oh, that's beautiful. And a snake nest. So let's have a look. We've got the haunted market. So if we cleanse this, we will get access to a holy market, which would give us ale and hardy. Reputation generated through high resolve grows 20% faster for every 2 villagers with the need for leisure fulfilled. And if we have 2 people working in here, we would increase our global carry capacity by 10. It's quite powerful. People could fill the need for tea and ale in here, or we could burn it down. We almost have enough manuscripts for this. And honestly, the cool thing about this haunted market is it does not have a negative effect if we don't deal with it immediately. We could just burn it down. That is a thing that we could do. I think I would rather cleanse it because it seems quite good. It's a good scaling bonus. However, the hidden trader cemetery we do need to deal with. We have 15 packs of provisions and 30 amber. We could burn it down to cover up the crimes that have happened. Now this would get us archaeological tools, which would give us free pottery every time we open a glade, as well as a bunch of fabric. While I would much prefer to report it, I think I'm going to have to burn it down, and that means I'm going to need to get a lot of planks. So the second this abandoned cache is done, I'm going to start making a lot of planks in here. In fact, I'm just going to assign the villagers to this now, and I'm going to set the limit to 30 now, because we need to burn this down so we don't deal with the 50% negative value to our goods with traders and an impatient point. The second we have the planks for this, we go. Now, the downside is we'll gain 60 hostility every 60 seconds, which is a lot of hostility, but if we start it soon enough, we won't have to deal with the negative consequences of that hostility for very long. Okay, let's go. I am going to immediately assign 2 workers to the hidden trader camp. I'm going to set it to burn it down. We'll investigate it. I'm going to pull a road towards it to make people more efficient while they work on it, hopefully. Now that only my beaver is working in here, I'm going to set the tools to make use of planks, and I also want the tools to make use of copper bars, and I will activate tool production, and this guy should be able to produce at least 10 tools, which we might be able to use to pry open this small abandoned cache and gain half a reputation point and 10 amber. Also, immigrants. This is where we get a lot of beavers. I will take the beavers. Boom. A lot of population. Now that we got a big population influx, I'm going to build myself another hearth. Let me get my wood camp over to this part of town. I'll want to clean out just this rip of trees here for the sake of the hearth. I'll put a small warehouse here. They're quite expensive, but in the long run, it will be worth it. Your warehouses are like physically linked storage devices, so you don't actually have to move stuff between warehouses. It's the best part of warehouses, honestly. So these guys are burning down the crime. I am a viceroy, and we're covering up the crime of another viceroy, which is obviously a big no-no. I'm gonna have to sacrifice some wood to keep resolve a little higher. All right, let's see some new orders here. Hasty Explorer. If we discover 2 dangerous glades within 210 seconds of each other, we will gain 20 pipes, 5 parts, and the stamping die for pipe production. We can have 10 humans for 120 seconds and have 8 villagers with the need for coats fulfilled. Honestly, the double dangerous glade thing is kind of fitting more with the way that I've been playing. Have 15 harmony decorations. This would gain, this is really, really powerful. Or open or send any number of abandoned caches to the Citadel. Both of these are incredible. I do believe Royal Gardens fits with my build a little bit better. We could make a good amount of use out of that, although I don't even know if I can build harmony. Yeah, I can, okay. They're expensive, but we can do it. It'll be a late game thing for sure. Liquid Luck. Oh, we could get a second stack of Vineyard Town. That's big. Let's go for Liquid Luck. Hostility is getting worse, but this will be burnt down very soon. Let's get started on the small hearth over here. It does take bricks, which means I'm gonna need to disable this pipe recipe. I need to get some stone. So in order to get stone, I'm gonna need a stone cutter's camp. Thankfully, we do produce stone pretty damn efficiently. So I'll put a stone cutter's camp right there. They should go harvest the stone for me. I'll put 2 villagers working on the stone. So they'll start getting us a stone income that we can use to create the bricks that we need. And we need those bricks to build both the warehouse and the hearth. We also need cloth. We can make use of both plant fiber and reeds. Okay, we're about to hit the storm and our hostility is way too high, so I need to do this. I cannot afford to have 3 hostility when the storm hits, so I'm gonna unassign woodcutters until our hostility falls down a little. In fact, I'm just going to unassign all my woodcutters to try and make it through the storm. I just need to make it 30 seconds. My people are leaving the town. We're going to lose a population here. I can improve your resolve to where you're not leaving anymore. We're no longer suffering the negative effects. I can stop burning wood. Oh, no, I definitely want to burn a little wood. We've managed to stabilize. We are burning wood, but we're not making wood, which is a problem. Let's give a second for loyalties to stabilize. And then I will reassign tree cutters. We can make it through this storm with fairly low resolve. It'll be fine. I'm going to tell my people to eat mushrooms and jerky because it's the only food I have because I forgot about food production. I thought I had assigned people to this meat camp. So let me take the lizards off this. I'm going to put you guys on the meat camp because they have a specialization bonus. So they're more likely, they're better off. They're better at producing yields there. Oh, pop shuffling. I might lose a lizard here, which sucks. It's going to piss the queen off. Oh, no. We made it. Okay. Resolve spike. We're good. Can we stop burning extra wood? Yes. So we were on the verge of going into a death spiral there. Now we need to deal with the queen's impatience. Her impatience increases pretty darn quick. So Hilda has arrived. Let's get our beavers wood cutting. Now we do have ancient tablets. These are incredibly valuable. 40 value on those. Let's check our cornerstones. Ooh, free roots. or we could get extra population. You know what? Let's just go mass population here. I'm going to need people working in the crude workstation. Put a couple beavers in there, working on a few different things. Can I afford to cut through to glades this cycle? I think I have to do that next cycle. I'll do a double dangerous glade cut. I'll just spend a little bit of time here stabilizing because we got a food issue. I could buy food from Sahilda. Actually, great idea. I would love to buy these berries. It would allow me to start producing wine. We bought a bunch of food from Sahilda. We are low on fuel now, but that's fine. This beaver is slowly producing tools for us. We're good. And we've got a second town coming online over here. Can you go back to wood cutting for me? Go this way. Part of the problem is we need bricks to build these structures over here, but that's okay. We're finally getting the hearth online. I'll be able to assign a beaver to it. The beaver will be happy. Sorry, not a beaver. I want to assign a lizard to it. Because I have a bunch of food, I can take a lizard out of this camp, and I will assign you to the small hearth. You will like this job, getting you +5 resolve, which will allow me to keep my average lizard resolve up. There's also a small warehouse built here, meaning these houses now get the supply they need. Let's produce some paths to make sure this sector of the map is getting what it needs. I am going to build a park, and then I will move one of these houses over here so that this part of the town can hit its threshold to get us the +1 resolve that we need with the park and stuff. So I'll go ahead and get these guys working. So you can see this warehouse is physically linked with the other warehouse, which means this is just a drop-off point for people. It's fantastic. All right, there's the park. This is now upgraded, a small hearth, which will get us, not only do we reduce the hostility of the forest by building this, we also get a boost to our resolve. So it double fights back against the negativity of the forest, which is fantastic. I think what I'm going to tell my people is to not eat the berries, because we can turn that into wine. I will build a cellar over here for the express purpose of wine production. We have the archaeological tools ability, which means discovering glades will get us pottery. That pottery can be used to make wine. Wine will give us lots of beaver resolve. Beaver resolve will get us reputation. If your people have really high resolve, they will be happy and give you reputation. That is the positive effect. We could get even better plank production using a lumber mill. Clothier could be pretty good, although we are going to need a supply of either dye or resin. We can fund the expedition, which will lower impatience, making our lives easier. It'll also get us an injection of materials. What can we finish next? I think at the start of next year, I can do double dangerous glades. Beaver resolve will happen. I will have to trade for these resources. This is beaver resolve as well. I could favor beavers. Can I get beaver houses? I'm going to take the lumber mill. Improved herbalist camp would be good. I believe we got a upgraded mushroom patch somewhere. Yeah. 2-star resources need an upgraded harvesting camp to get them. So I'm going to get myself an upgraded herbalist camp. That'll allow us to get a lot more mushrooms, which will help us feed our people. A tinctuary would allow us to make dye. Skewers are pretty good because you can use mushrooms plus berries. If we could ever find a farming plot, it would be incredible. Cookhouse, fishing hut, tinctuary. I'm going to take the cookhouse. We also got a new pack of immigrants. 35 pottery. Ooh, yes. The dangerous thing about having a lot of population is that the more population that you have, the more aggressive the forest gets. But it also means we can build more small hearts to fight back against the forest's hostility. This haunted market, I would love to deal with this. I don't want to burn it down. I would much rather cleanse it because it's really good if we could cleanse it. All right, how many gears do I have? I have 9 gears. Let's think about the economy we want to build. So we definitely want to be making wine. We can use mushrooms for that too. Pottery. We don't care about how much of this we use. We want to be turning wine into luxury goods. We could turn manuscripts, but wine is the one that we produce, and we sell those for other resources. So I'm going to build the upgraded herbalist camp over here. Eventually, my plan is to move this market so that I can build a hearth right here-ish. Yeah, right here. So I will place a path there. I will place a small warehouse right in front of my planned hearth, and then I'll connect it up to my road network thusly. So I need to get my hands on a few more manuscripts, which means I have to wait 8 minutes for a trader. So the big problem is going to be Queen's Impatience here. We need to deal with the Queen's Impatience. Something else we can deal with are these taverns and stuff like that. The tavern would be incredible to restore. It would be fairly inexpensive to restore. Could I put more beavers in this location? Also, don't be afraid to use crystallized dew to make tools, to make a whole bunch of planks. Oh, wait. We have the lumber mill now. Tell you what, stop producing planks. Instead, I'm going to produce a lumber mill right here, as the lumber mill has the most efficient recipe: 3 wood to make 2 planks in 28 seconds compared to 5 wood to make 2 planks in 42. So we'll want double beavers in here. And then we can use leather plus dye or wine to make scrolls, which would allow us to fulfill the haunted market. That's perfect. I see a pathway forward for us. And it's a big, awesome pathway forward. Yep, I'm seeing a lot of pathways forward for us. The tavern is going to be big for us. Let's see, this foragers camp, we could rebuild it. We have a small foragers camp. What does it make? Grain, roots, and vegetables. So we've got grain over here. I don't know if this is worth rebuilding yet. The cannery could be worth rebuilding, but we already have a wine producer. I believe humans like to work in the wine production industry. So I'm going to put them in there. No limit on wine production because we just want to produce as much as possible to make our people happy. Okay, perfect. We don't want to make packs of trade goods. I will say a limit of 40 scrolls, I think, is fine. Just don't go over 40 with wine. I do like the idea of having a resource we can, let's see, I can turn 3 wine plus leather into a good that is able to be turned into packs of luxury goods. That's incredible. Now, the most important order for me to finish is actually this harmony one here because of the export specialization. This will allow us to increase the net value of our economy like a lot. But for now, we need to get the Queen's Impatience down. So that's going to be an interesting adventure. I want a pair of humans working in here to generate mushrooms for us. And right now, we are in the process of just kind of waiting. We're in a waiting formation. How much homelessness are we dealing with? We have 8 people that are homeless. So let's go ahead and build a shelter here. There's 3 more houses. That should cover all the homeless. Oh yeah, you get those mushrooms. The mushrooms will also give us access to bugs, which is incredible. But yeah, I definitely don't want my people eating the berries because the berries need to be turned into wine incredibly efficiently. Beautiful. Oh, look at all that wine we're already getting. Now I've got 6 unemployed people, which is obviously not ideal. I never put a limit on bricks. How many bricks do we have? We have way too many bricks. Limit of 10 bricks. We never need more than 10 bricks at current times. In terms of cloth, limit of 10 as well is fine. We can't produce it better anywhere else. Makeshift tent, we don't need to do anything in there. Don't need anyone working in there. Could make another... I think I should start repairing this tavern. I'll put 3 beavers to work on the tavern. It'll take 20 planks, 4 bricks, and 32 fabric. Go ahead and rebuild that. The cannery, I'm less certain about whether or not it's worth it, but it is incredibly cheap. So I'll just put people in there to get it underway. And part of the reason for that is there's a lot of cornerstones that sort of reflect off of rebuilding or dismantling old ruins. So there's a lot of value in getting these. All right, we've got our final order now. We can go for builder's tools, which would allow us to deliver tools and packs of building materials. This would allow us to make more biscuits. We would plant crops faster and harvest faster, or we could go for rainproof coats. We could fulfill the need for coats 50 times, deliver 30 oil. We would get massive coat production and a huge population boost. I honestly think builder's tools is easier to fulfill on this particular map. Resolve is quite low. I need to burn wood to keep resolve higher. I've got 3 unemployed people, which is obviously not ideal. I can move this cannery. So where is your unhappiness coming from? Looming darkness, hostility of the forest. We need to pay 5 building materials to prevent 3 buildings burning down. That sucks. I'll set the limit to 6 for my building materials globally and assign a couple of people to work in here. Prioritizing this. We're almost ready to cleanse this market since the first pack of scrolls have just been completed. And we're really close to activating Vineyard Town for the first time. Oh, Beaver Resolve. Let me bump that up. Okay, now is a good time to fulfill the Haunted Market because it's right at the start of a new season. But I would like to have finished this tavern, but they're still bringing resources over. Where can I assign people from? Let me move this cannery because it's kind of in an awkward place. I'll park it over here for now. I'm going to take these 2 guys off this. Yeah, we should be good with building supplies. And then I'm going to assign 3 people to this immediately, specifically with scrolls because we have enough of those. And this will get us the Holy Market. So immediately cleanse this. Now this is going to have a negative effect on our resolve. Every 45 seconds we're going to get -3 to global resolve, but we do have ways to deal with that and fight back. Now we also need to choose a cornerstone. Production is faster, but traders arrive slower. Calming the forest. Every glade event resolved by making a decision marked as empathy lowers hostility by 40. I'm going to take that because I'm about to double open dangerous glades. That's right, baby. We're doing a double. So open this one and this one because we need to open 2 within, I think it was 210 seconds of each other to fulfill a cornerstone. All right, what do we got in here? Stone deposit, swamp fields, banded cache, smithy, ancient shrine. The ancient shrine is dangerous. I believe it will kill 5 random villagers in 8 minutes if we don't deal with it. So we can loot it or we can excavate it. Looting it will increase hostility of the forest, and it does cost a lot of food to do that, but we will end up with a lot of value in goods, or we can cleanse it if we had enough tools. I'm going to call Zorg immediately so that we might be able to buy the resources we need to excavate it, because every point of Queen's Grace we can get will lower her impatience, and impatience is now starting to become a bit of a dangerous line for us. My stonecutter has harvested all of the deposits that are near it. I'm going to put it over here near the high quality deposit, because that'll keep them busy for a long time. It also has a chance to get us copper ore. Zorg has arrived, and he does not have anything that will help me cleanse it. Now, in order to cleanse this, I needed tools or building materials. Zorg. Ugh, you killing me, bro. We can sell luxury goods and packs of crops. Let's see what happens if we open the other one. Come on, guys. I need you to chop through a little faster. We discovered a fishman cave. This is some of the worst. Jesus Christ, a fishman totem every 30 seconds. Every 60 seconds. If we don't deal with this, we get 3 fishman totems and an impatience point. This becomes incredibly important to deal with. All right, listen up, bro. So unfortunately, we're going to have to loot this ancient shrine. And I need workers there to do this. Who can I take? I need the stone cutters to keep making stone because I need a certain amount of stone to bash down this fishman cave. I need 45 stone to break it. God, there's so much happening that's dangerous and difficult and scary. I'll preemptively build a small warehouse here. I have a little bit more time to deal with the fishman cave because it takes 12 minutes or 13 minutes for the negative effect to trigger. The fishman totems are going to be absolutely devastating to deal with. God, okay, I'm running into population issues. I'm going to deassign you from this tavern. It'll take you too long to fix it. You're not getting it done. I'm going to put 2 of you guys on the ancient shrine instead right now. And you got to investigate that immediately. And we're going to have to burn wood to bring down hostility to a manageable level because hostility is crazy right now. Yeah, I know resolve is low. Zorg, before you go, all right, I'm no longer working the makeshift post. I do need more cloth and brick. Well, I need more cloth, so I'll put a worker in there to slowly make us that. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, the combination of the haunted market and the negative events is just rough. I'm hoping that this will be done soon enough to where this super negative effect will go away. Favor the beavers to slow down their leaving. Come on, finish it off. There we go. No more negative effect. Perfect. So now we're just dealing with the huge hostility boost of this. We've almost got enough mushrooms in store. I will tell my people to stop eating mushrooms for a moment because we need to get those over there. If mushrooms are used for any other purpose, we might end up with not enough mushrooms. I'm going to wait on grabbing this bunch of newcomers because we have so much population. It's actually insane. I'm going to put 2 beavers immediately on the bashing in of this fishman cave. Go. So now we're going to start getting fish totems that we need to bash in as well. Our life is quite difficult. However, this is the thing about Against the Storm. You always feel like you're balanced on the edge of a knife, and it's always incredible. I can turn this in for an impatience reduction, and I will. Boom. That buys me another 4-ish minutes before I fail the mission. The first fishman totem has appeared. Fishman totems increase the hostility of the forest just while they exist, and so you need a lot of population to suppress them. They take about 1.5 minutes to deal with. I know newcomers are waiting, but I literally cannot handle new people in my town. I'm gonna have to let my people eat whatever food we have because we're running out of food. The good news is we have completed Vineyard Town twice now, which will give beavers +2 resolve, and that's only going to get stronger and stronger as time goes on. Another fishman totem, quickly drop a worker on that. It's being cleansed. This is going to be a hard storm. In fact, we may fail the mission. We did complete the ancient shrine. I can't accept this group of newcomers just yet. I'm going to move the holy market to over here. Let me go ahead and move you. Doesn't matter exactly where you go. I just need you over there. Now, increasing global carry capacity would be useful. Would love to assign 2 people to that. Also, really want to build another small hearth over here. So we'll get that underway. Where are my people working? And on what are my people working? I guess it's all... the blight rot cysts thing is going to be killing us. I might have to cut some woodcutters here. 1, 2, 3. I'll cut 3 woodcutters. That will at least free up some builders, I guess. A couple of people I could assign here to the market to get the benefits. Mainly I want that market carts thing so people can carry more resources, so less trips are made. Can't believe I didn't find any fertile soil. That just like feels terrible. Can I unlock a guild house here? A lot of these things would upgrade the recipes that I have access to, but I don't think anything really changes our situation. Being able to make copper bars could change things because we can technically get access to copper, so I'll take the smelter for now. God, more fishman totems. Get in there, investigate it, get rid of it. We will have the fisherman's heads fully bashed in. Yeah, we're gonna have to pay some building supplies. God, another fishman totem, quickly. 6 building supplies. Can I pay that now? Yeah, okay. We paid it now, so we don't have to deal with that. We won't lose 3 buildings. I can't afford to let the newcomers come in. A guild house. Holy shit, this is huge. Oh shit. Priority number 1 is to repair this guild house. If we can get this guild house repaired. Oh man, okay. There's a very... I see the golden path now. I see the narrow way through. If we can repair this guild house, we'll be able to activate liquid luck, which will increase the amount of wine that we produce and give us an injection of wine. Also, it will give us Vineyard, another stack of Vineyard Town, which means every 70 wine we produce would give us 2 resolve to our beavers. There is a narrow way through. I see the future. I see all possible futures, and there is only one way that we can get through this. I need to sacrifice wood to hold the line on resolve. It's going to be a hard winter, but let me tell you, once we get through here, big changes are coming. I'm expecting another fishman totem. That's devastating. We might lose some villages here. There's nothing I can do about it. Potentially losing a beaver. Okay, but We made it through. The looming darkness has passed. We can pick a cornerstone. Gain 20 reed and 20 clay for each discovered glade. Not bad, I'll take it. I will take the people with a huge amount of food. Thank you. Boom. Now we got a lot of unhoused people, but that's okay. We're going to put a lizard in charge of this house. I'm going to move. Let me go ahead and build some pathways here to make sure that we sort of take care of our situation. Right. We laid out a little bit of a path here. I'll move 2 sets of houses over here. 1 and 2. Then I will build a park in this area right there. I will also build us an extra 2 shelters to house people, and then 1 shelter over here as well. Okay, this is big. Big things are coming. How many planks do we have? 19. Right. First things first, get this feckin' tavern rebuilt. Got 6 unemployed workers doing really important work. I need 1 of them to jump on this totem. Boom. God, I can't wait to get rid of this fishman. Boom. Reputation gained, impatience reduced. And now there's going to be some money in there. The next trader's coming in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh yeah. Okay, let me have a look. Is any of these worth bashing open? A lot of fuel in there. Okay, we managed to get through a pretty dangerous phase of the map right now. Oh yeah, we absolutely need people working in the woodcutters because we are so hungry for wood now. None of these really matter to me, so I won't bother picking them up. I definitely need to deal with a food supply issue, but before I do that, I need people to build stuff, so we'll take our time. Here come the shelters. Excellent. This hearth has upgraded, which means we're lowering the hostility even more, and we get +1 global resolve. Priority number 1, the second this tavern is complete, priority number 1 is to rebuild this guild house. Like, I can't explain how important it is for us to rebuild this. This will be a game changer because this will give us the guild's welfare. We'll get +1 global resolve every time we sell goods worth 75 amber, and the bonus is added retroactively. So this is big. Immediately start breaking that. I'm going to get 2 workers to smash open this abandoned cache. Well, I could also get tools. It's worth so much reputation. Do I get myself another woodcutter's camp? I'm so hungry for wood. I'm so hungry for wood. Yeah, I get another woodcutter's camp. I plonk it right here, and I get myself some beavers. Can I pull a beaver from somewhere? Yeah, I don't need a beavers on that guild house. 2 people, maybe even put a human on that. Abandoned cache, smithy, we don't need to do anything with that. These small ones can be worth it to break open. It's 9 tools for 0.5 reputation versus 24 tools for 1. Oh, actually, it's more efficient to break open the big ones. Are there any useful perks hiding in here? No. Bleeding trees, we don't need that. I'm going to move this tavern. So one of the powerful things about this tavern is it will allow us to fulfill the need for wine. And if we go to the consumption screen, you can see our beavers, if they are allowed to consume wine, will get +10 to their resolve. So my plan is to assign humans to this, allowing us to fulfill the need for wine, making my beavers happy. And if I put 3 humans in here, not only will the humans be happier because they're working in a brewery, humans get +5 to their resolve for working in breweries, I will also get a global +3 resolve for Gleeman's Tale. So I am going to be looking for humans to put into here. I think it's like the second this guild house is completed, my entire build comes together and I can feel like the power rising to a crescendo, and I'm really, really excited about it. It's going to be sick. I would also like to build myself a second cellar whose job it will be to produce pickled goods. And this is a way to turn 5 food into 10 food. And it will also make both beavers and lizards happier. So that's going to be a priority. It's a food multiplication device. Go ahead and open this glade. Nothing dangerous can happen if you open it. Nothing to build in here. We have enough cloth. We have enough stuff. We're waiting for planks. I'll build a second lumber mill dedicated to plank production, hopefully. This cellar, I would like to put 2 humans in it, dedicated to the creation of pickled goods to increase the amount of food that my people have access to, and also improving the resolve of my people. Ooh! We found a snake nest, an algae pond, fertile soil at long last. We can grow dewberries. Oh shit. That's huge. We also found a wandering merchant, which is kind of neat actually. So we don't have a reason to increase our incense production. We could have a reason to increase our paste production. The main thing I want from this guy is honestly the food he has. The clothing would be awesome too. Mainly I just want to make trades. Ale would be quite good too. It would be allow me to make my people happier. Ale is quite expensive. I'm just going to say this is a pretty fair deal. I trade a little bit of luxury goods, a little bit of ancient tablets for a huge injection of food, as well as some clothing for my people. that clothing will increase my people's happiness. So boots will make my lizards happier, coats will make my beavers and humans happier, and making people happier is the goal. I am going to turn off consumption, however, until we hit winter. That's when you want to turn it on, in my opinion. Until then, it doesn't really serve a purpose. The fertile soil is big. Put a plantation there. It's not as important as getting this guild house up. I'm going to bash in this large abandoned cache for an injection of coal, pottery, herbs, and vials of pigment. Resources will probably be very useful. I'm going to move this woodcutter over towards where there is a fresh storage yard and a bunch of wood. Wood production is very, very important. Old Farlough has come. We can gain half a point of reputation. That's really good. Oh, these tools are so amazing, though. I wish I had more money. Need to get that beaver resolve up. Farlough. Your timing could not be... Oh! Crystallized dew for berries is actually super good, too. Reputation is big. I need to be thinking about reputation, because I'm starting to get to the point of the game where I'm going to lose really soon. I don't know if I can make it through another year. It's going to be tough. Farlough is gone. There was nothing I could do about that. Need this guild house rebuilt. Yes! Okay. Rebuild that ASAP. My stonecutters camp has run out again. Honestly, that tells me I just need to unemploy my stonecutters camp, and I'm going to put 3 humans in charge of the gleeman here. This should get me a significant resolve boost across my colony, especially once wine starts being drunk by my beavers. +3 base resolve is huge. I am going to cut a few woodcutters over the winter, over the storm, because I just don't want to deal with the blight from the sky, because I don't really have a good way to deal with it because I haven't built a blight rot post. I do need to be careful with the amount of stone that I use because I don't have stone production currently online. Food is a bit of a problem. We are making pickled goods, and the pickled goods are making the beavers and lizards happier. I'm kind of tempted to like say only for beavers so that I can make it through this mission on beaver happiness alone. I'll get that guild house up, please. My lizards are pretty unhappy during the storm, but that's okay. We do need to pay this building supplies issue. Put a couple of beavers working on that, turning our planks into usable materials. Yes, here comes the guild. I'll put some lizards on this. This will get me only 1 reputation point. Not important, because now my people can fulfill their need for education as well, and I can produce scrolls using wine and wood, I believe, from my lumber mills. Wine and leather, and also technically wood. Education makes beavers even happier, so this is like beaver mecca. Our beavers are going to be so happy soon, I promise. We're on the cusp. In fact, now I can take the liquid luck ability, gets us another copy of Vineyard. I'm actually getting frigid with how epic this is. That cuts down on the hostility. I can get the guild for more beavers to join the settlement. That was probably bad at the time, but we've pulled back the Queen's impatience. That's huge. Beaver happiness is about to hit a peak of peaks that you cannot explain. No, a blight rot cyst appeared. Shoot. How much corruption do we have? 31% max. Okay, so we're good. We'll be fine. We don't need to. We're not like late enough into the game to care about blight rot cysts, my dudes. Yeah, make sure to pay that instantly, just to get it out of my hair. I really don't want to deal with it. So now we need to think about how we're going to get oil, flour. Beaver resolve we can easily do. Oh, baby, look at that. We are trending towards positive resolve. I could even focus on the happiness of my beavers to get them to like giga resolve. Cornerstone, let's see. Export specialization is big. That's huge. Yeah. Export specialization is incredibly powerful because it basically means while we're turning wine into packs of luxury goods, that increases the efficiency of this recipe by 50%, meaning we get more value out of it. I will put more beavers in the pack of luxury goods because now we want to trade like crazy, because every 75 amber that we trade, we get +1 global resolve, which is huge, by the way. That is a lot of stone from those beavers. That is so much population, though. That is so much population. How am I going to manage that? I might have to call a trader. I'm already having trouble making sure everyone is working effectively. We could do it. It's just like... Man, the watchtower really saved me here on this mission. I gotta say that. Okay, so when this beaver resolve kicks in, we will get reinforced axes. Speaking of axes, I'm gonna put 2 beavers in here. You know what? I'm gonna call them. So when a species happiness is above a certain level, you will get passive reputation gains. So I'm going to favor the beavers so they have even higher happiness, and then I'm going to deal with my homelessness crisis. Unfortunately, I can't build another hearth. It's a bit of a problem for me. I can, however, build more shelters to deal with the problem, especially with all the unemployed people I have. I'm trying to think, which buildings do I need people in right now? You know what I could use? I could probably use another herbalist camp to feed my people with mushrooms. We're going to get happy beavers, no problem. I'm going to work on royal gardens. Let's build a bunch of harmony improvements. I need 15 of them in total. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They don't have to be inside a settlement. We can always move them. 15 of these being built is the play. We'll make the wood for it. Beaver happiness is going crazy right now. We're getting 51 resolve per minute. Did not mean to cut through to that. Avoid glades except marked. There is a butcher in here. And big. Decreases hostility by 50 and counts as 4 decorations of its type. I may just burn this down because I already have a way to reduce hostility, so we'll just burn that down really quick. Small Trappers Camp has run out of deposits. I'll put you up over near these eggs so we can start resupplying the town. I'll put a second lizard on there because they have a double yield bonus. Make my life easier. Oh my god, look at that beaver happiness. We are gaining an insane 0.58 resolve per minute. That is ridiculous. Happy Beavers is done. I tap this, getting me a reputation point as well as a boost. I think we're on the home stretch here. I think we managed to get through. This is what I was talking about. This double wine bonus is insane, as well as like the ridiculous level of happiness I was able to boost my beavers up into. I'm going to tell these guys to stop eating that stuff. I'm going to allow my beavers to wear coats too, so that they become even happier. I want my beavers to the maximum 0.63. Oh, buddy. 0.63. Yeah, we're done. This is donezo. I know your lizard resolve is low, okay? That's by design. Unfair rationing. Here, have your rations. There we go. We gained reputation. We're a couple of minutes away from victory. Let's improve this to 15. Oh my god, we're so close to victory. I just need to keep this beaver resolve at maximum. It is super high. I'm going to call the trader immediately because I might be able to pump resolve even higher in my town to like a ridiculous degree by trading. But yeah, this is like an insane slingshot play that we managed to pull off here in terms of resolve. So we literally just want to trade as much as possible, like back and forth. Like I'll buy this amber, jerky, paste this, anything that improves the happiness of my people. I definitely need flour for a mission 2. I will dump whatever I can in here to pick up whatever I can. Have some tools as well. So that big trade deal that we just pulled off increased our resolve by 2 thanks to the guild's welfare. I'm going to tell my people to pry open one of these boxes for half a point of reputation to finish the mission nice and quick. Now we're starting to look good. We're starting to look real good. Even the lizards are happy, getting a 0.8 resolve per minute. Once we hit 13 resolve, I can tap the builder's tools to instantly win the mission. So we turn in these tools, we turn in these building materials, boom, victory. That's what I'm talking about. That was very clean. Now remember, I'm a very low level, so I don't have a lot of tools to deal with these high level challenges that we were up against here. But that was sick. So we just unlocked a bunch of stuff. We got new Citadel upgrades. We got access to the Harpy. We got access to the Harpy House, the Bathhouse, the Apothecary, the Artisan, as well as a new Cornerstone with economic migration. Newcomers arrive quicker and bring 10% more goods with every level of standing we have for other settlements with trade routes. We didn't mess around with trade routes, but that's something that's in the game. We completed a whole bunch of deeds, complete 10 orders, win a game in the marshlands, levitating monument, no deaths. We had 0 deaths. We won a game against the watchtower. We had no strangers, no encampment events. We traded goods worth 600 amber. We won a game while having at least 5 reputation points from resolve. We won a game in marshlands difficulty on Viceroy or higher, and we won a game with no dead villagers on Viceroy difficulty or higher. So I'm really proud of this. We got 65 food, 10 artifacts, and 4 seal fragments. So if we go back to the world map now, that's it, mission over. We hit our objective. This is my favorite part of Against the Storm. You get to play the best part of a city builder game over and over and over and over. And the best part of a city builder game is the early game. It's the building of the city. Who wants to play the crappy part of the city builder? You know what I mean? So that was our second settlement of the expedition. So now I can go to the Citadel with all those resources I picked up. We did a whole bunch of deeds. We got experience. We unlocked the Marsh Glow Fungite, which is a decoration. We got experience, tons of experience. We unlocked a new decoration, a road sign. We unlocked decorative fungus. Huge victory. Also, we got like story stuff that we can click our way through. Pretty neat. Also, I think I can decorate my home. Yeah, we got a new home decoration. We got the mushrooms. All right, let's buy our upgrades. This is the part of the game I'm excited about. So we can go up all the way to level 6. We've unlocked a huge amount of stuff. So going down the center line here will lower the pace at which the Queen's Impatience grows, which makes missions easier in the sense that you have more time to complete them, but also makes them harder in that the Queen's Impatience is lower, because the higher the Queen's Impatience is with you, the easier the mission is, because it makes the forest seem less hostile. All right, let's have a look here. I actually really like the First Dawn headquarters here. We get 10% more Citadel resources whenever we finish a settlement, and we gain a permanent 1% boost to the global chance of producing double yield. So I think that is just like across your entire economy, you just have a 1% chance of an extra bonus yield. So I'm going to unlock this, because that's just a 1% productivity boost, which is amazing. First Dawn headquarters, another 1% boost to the global yield. We also have the option to bring vegetables with us, so I'm going to take that as well. And then the First Dawn level 3 headquarters would allow us to embark with a herbalist camp. We could take that. I kind of prefer to stick to lower level upgrades. So for example, if we go for the Brass Forge, we could get a 2% boost to global production speed and the ability to bring villagers with us when we embark. So I'm going to take that. And if we take the Dim Square, we get a permanent 3% boost to trader arrival speed, and we get access to trade routes, which is awesome. So we've just unlocked a whole bunch of new stuff for this game. And if you want to see me continue playing this game, you got to check me out on Patreon, because that's going to be it for this video. And I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.